Ah, Hello everyone, my name is Will, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about positive attitude and if there's anyone having trouble keeping that or getting it in the first place. And one of the things I really like to put myself through is just kind of any amount of entertaining or interesting or challenging. I mean, you think of any word you want, but basically just anything you can put yourself through that's going to put yourself out there. You know, whether it's learning to cook, whether it's trying a new study or a new job you're wanting to move forward into, just go for it. And the more you do, the more opportunity you see what sticks and what doesn't. And you'll see where your traits lie and where you actually find out a lot more about yourself that way. I've been through a lot of different jobs before, and a lot of them didn't stick. So I was able to find the one I really wanted, though. That being said, my job, for me anyway, it's very difficult. I do programming for the circuit boards and whatnot. I have to talk to a lot really smart people all the time, and I just have to know what I'm doing. And I'm just barely getting into it for the most part, and it can be discouraging at times, but it's probably the most fun thing I've ever had to do. Just being able to learn something every single day is really interesting, and it makes me look forward to every next day. And that's part of when I want to tell you about practice makes perfect, because that's probably the truest thing you'll ever hear. It does make perfect eventually, or at least attempt, because if you don't continue your routine, it's going to fall apart. You'll lose interest, you won't stick to it, and it probably wasn't what you wanted. Hence the first thing was trying everything you can to see what sticks and what doesn't. So that again helps you figure out what kind of a person you are. It gives you a better idea of what kind of characteristic you're really going for, as far as not really knowing yourself or wanting to know yourself more. So you can really hone in on your skills and really benefit from what you're capable of, because everyone's a little different, and it could be from upbringing. It doesn't really matter. You know, some people like Star Wars, some people like Star Trek, some people like video games, some people enjoy movies or sports more. It just depends. But with that comes traits, and traits can really help you out in the work field and give you a much better life. And especially when you're at coming toward your ends of, you know, the end of the 20s and whatnot, you're really kind of trying to find a home, get a family, starting to figure yourself out, and not just trying to survive anymore. You're trying to build something. And in doing that, I would say go ahead and branch out to things that you might have not have even tried before. You might surprise yourself. I never thought I'd be in this kind of job, and I am, and I'm enjoying it more than I ever thought I would. But the thing that kind of really helped motivate me outside of the job itself, because again, it is really hard, and I wasn't entirely sure I'd make it in the first place, is I did things at home. And that was mainly productive things, and I made it routine. And I figured if I can do these routine things at home enough, I should be able to do something at work. Because if I get better at home with something, as far as making sure the house is completely clean, or helping with the many little animals, cats that we have, and just working on the truck, whatever I can find. But my routines are the most important part of my every single day. As long as I checked that off of my list and I was able to finish it, it made me feel that much more confident when I came into work, because I was able to knock out that. I should be able to knock out this, and that's just a mindset. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't mean that that's the magic trick, but it definitely puts me in the right mood and the right set, and it gives me the positive attitude to be able to tackle this. And basically, what that kind of does is it kind of gives you a chance to put yourself in an idolized position, where instead of looking towards a famous person or someone else to look up to, you kind of give you kind of get a chance to look up to yourself. You know, that's somebody that you want to be and you can be, and it's still you. So when you kind of put that in your head, it becomes more of a possibility to get what you want in life, because it's something that you can foresee. It's something to work towards. It's not like you feel like you got it all figured out because you got your food, you got your money, and you can sleep in bed. but tomorrow's still going to be the same day. You want to mix it up. You want it to be interesting. You want it to continue to encourage you to go on the next day and the next day. And doing that, like I said, is just challenging yourself every single day. Is really thinking that I don't want to do this the way I always do. I don't want to do it the same way. I want to try something different every single time, because something's going to stick. Something will. As long as you continue trying, eventually one of those things is going to stick and you will be satisfied by it. Just can't stop trying. So don't ever stop looking forward, because even if you fail at it, you didn't lose much. You still accomplished a learning experience, and that's something on its own. You know whether or not you should continue into it or not, or if you could go back to it. You have a lot of stuff you can go back and remember on, and just always try to support yourself. Give yourself the compliments that you deserve. You're not always going to hear it from people. People are always dealing with their own stuff. They're trying to do it themselves half the time. So just don't rely on someone to do it for you. And I hope you always have someone that's going to tell you you're doing a good job. And I hope you always will have someone that encourages you and loves you and cares for you and wants you to progress in life, on behalf of your own benefit, not anyone else's. But that's not something that I do. I feel like most people should keep in mind. I feel like it's good to do that for yourself, because then you don't have to wait or rely on anyone, and you can be strong enough to do it for other people at that point. And lastly, I think one of the coolest things that I've ever tried that seems to work a lot is if I'm in a bad mood, whether it's someone cutting me off in traffic, or when my jobs got scrapped for something that I didn't have any control over, or even playing a video game, and it can get a little upsetting sometimes. Just anything. I would say what I did was funny. I forced myself to smile. It's really weird what your brain does, because it doesn't know what the hell's happening whenever you start smiling. Especially when you are upset. I would say give it a try. You might look a little crazy, but it's definitely worth something when you can feel yourself feeling better. It's almost like it's almost healing in a sense. Like your mind is somewhere else, and you can easily pull it out just by doing something that you do have control over, and that is your physical appearance. You can smile, and it really gives your body a chance to figure out why you're doing it, and then it'll give itself reasons why you could be doing it and why you should be doing it. Other than that, I was just trying to make this a little bit shorter. I didn't really do very well at it. Just try staying on one subject, but I hope you guys are all doing really well. I hope that was somewhat a little bit helpful, and I hope you guys continue staying safe, doing great, and yeah, so have a good one.